That brush. Right there where you left it, Marjo. I need to do something with my hair. I want to shave it. I want to just cut it all off. That's my knee-jerk reaction. Will I do that? No. Probably not. Do I want to? Yeah, I do. I'll just put it up. Time is just going. It's like the days are going by slow, but the time is going by fast. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. That's all right. I don't care. I don't really think too much about time. I mean, I pay attention because sometimes it goes by really fast. It's a trip. Life is a trip, man. Being an earthling, a human being on the planet in 2022 is peculiar. Huh, Ma?
2022.
It's almost 2023. You believe that?
Yeah.
You're born in what? I know when you were born. We don't need to tell nobody, Ma. You just had a birthday. We got to cut down back on the cake. I don't know what's going on with Jupiter. Lady DeCovenant said that something's like it makes you want to eat. Something with Jupiter, and I'm like, oh, that's what that transit is. I gotta be careful because I've been eating so crap. I haven't been eating a lot because I don't eat a lot of food. The food I've been eating is not the best for us. So I think we're gonna do like chicken and rice this week. And some like vegetable chow mein or something like that. Something.
I like that vegetable chow mein.
Some just vegetables and just nice and light. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath. I just like having these little talks and the way I feel about things. I have more proof of my Hilkiness. more evidence. I found a photo album this morning that I thought was gone forever.
Yeah, but it's one of your favorites?
That's right there.
Oh.
That one, it's my it is. It has like pictures from when we were in Morro Bay.
A long time ago.
You didn't write on the back of this one. All the other ones, yeah, like Mom was one of those like write the ages and the year and how tall we were. That's little Marge. That's little Marge. That's little me. I still feel like that little girl. What do you mean I can't? Let me do it. I did that all the way up. Thanks, Ma. Yeah, these kind of encompass my spirit, my personality.
There's something about light like that is so soothing. And it has a presence kind of like all of its own.
Yeah, Ma? What, the lights that are behind me?
Yeah, lights
I had to get an extension cord because this is when this was at my graduation. I knew so many people that one summer I went to freaking 7 weddings. I was like, dude, I should register when I graduate from college because I ain't never getting married. So I should register at like Bed Bath & Beyond and go just pick out a bunch of loot that I want people to buy me for presents because I graduated from college because that's what I did for 7 freaking couples. And how many of those people are still married? Like 2, I think, maybe out of the 7. 1? I think 1. I think 1 is. Nope, 2. 2 are out of the 7. That was my graduation party. January 20th, 2007. I was 2007. 33? 33.
33. Oh, that's the
I was gonna turn anyway, so.
you seem to see
And I never considered myself to be very butch. People would be like, because I mean, I look like when I look at this picture now, I mean, I have short hair. I have a polo shirt, striped polo shirt on.
Yeah.
I used to like that shirt. I think I got it at Old Navy
Maybe.
back in my 3D world when I used to live from my ego, man. I know what it's like for people. I know how easy it is to get caught up. I mean, the world tells you every day that live for yourself, buy yourself this, treat yourself that, do this for yourself, you deserve it. You know, and oftentimes people feel so bad about stuff that they're just, okay, I'm going to do whatever, I'm going to do that because you're telling me I can do whatever I want, and that's A-okay,
And it's okay.
and it's not okay, man.
It's not okay.
I just want to take a moment, actually, to freaking put my freaking, God, man, just put a prayer out there, good intention for people that are just like, that are going through something right now, and they're just scared, and they don't know what to do, and they don't have what they need in order to take care of whatever problem they have. And I know what it's like to be in that position, to be just so freaked out that your body is just humming and there's humming. And there's a circumstance, a story that I read a little while ago on a pet page here in the local community, and vet care here is just a nightmare, man. It is just such a tragedy. They don't have any emergency vet. The closest emergency vet's 2 hours away in Albuquerque. You know, and the vets that are around here, I've been vets for like 30 years. They're all tired and old, you know, and they don't have any like the younger ones to come up behind them to take, you know. Well, a lot of times because they're too stingy, they don't want to release, you know, all that income, you know, give it to somebody else. Because everything's about money. It's not even about freaking animal care anymore. Everything's about money. I gotta start figuring. I'm gonna start freaking writing letters to these. I looked it up. Whoop, Tuck, you all right? I looked up all the list of veterinary universities, and freaking, man, there's got to be some freaking nonprofits that could freaking host, you know, a first year veterinary student in the local rural communities, you know, and they just live here and just do spay and neuters, man. Just do spay and neuters for freaking, for people to get the pet population thing under control, so, you know, dogs and cats aren't freaking a part of the freaking food chain with the coyotes and stuff around here. You know what I mean? And it's there's easy solutions, but people have to get past their greed and their desire for money and property and prestige and all that. And I don't know if that's going to happen in my lifetime. I like to hope that I'll see it, but who knows? And this young woman, man, her dog went into labor 3:30 this morning, and it was like 6 o'clock when she did that post, or 5:30 or what it was, and she had one pup and it was stillborn, you know, and she's been laboring, she's been struggling, you know, with the rest of them, and nothing else is happening, and the vet wants $1,000 because it's Sunday to come in and help this dog. Yeah, I'll come help your dog. It'll cost you $1,000 because, you know, I it's Sunday and I got my pot roast and stuff, you know. And so, God, if I had $1,000 to give her, I would. I swear I'd do it right now. I just feel like just go, and you can't. There's so much. People have so much in this fucking world, and they just stuff it in their pockets, and they keep it in their pockets, and there's all occasions like this all over the place, and it just fucking makes me sick, you know. These people that drive around their fucking $80,000-$90,000 vehicles, you know, and I'm just like, what is the nicest thing you've ever done for somebody? They don't do jack shit for anybody else. That's why they got so much, because you don't have that much shit if you give it away. You know, I was always taught that you can't have peace and serenity inside unless you give it away. And that means help give peace and serenity to other people that don't have it. So it was cool though. People were reaching out to her. People were, giving her advice and guidance and stuff like that, And when people are scared and they're alone, they just, that's when they need a higher power. That's when I need God, good orderly direction. What do I do? Because I don't know what to do. I'm scared. And oftentimes when I'm scared, I act out. Because what do I have to lose? I already lost everything. There's always more to lose. Never tempt the universe. I learned that a long time ago. I still do it sometimes. It's my placements. What am I going to do? So, my heart goes out to that woman, Stephanie, I believe her name is, and I said, God bless you and your pup, man. It's just because I know what I've had things. I've had things happen to the critter, the dogs on weekends and the cat and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I also have seen some animals that have some gnarly wounds. And animals are a lot more resilient than human beings are. Well, human beings are actually quite resilient. We really are. When we're in optimal fit, when we use the owner's manual proper on our systems, our bodies are freaking amazing, man. What our bodies can do. It's like how they heal and stuff like that. I don't know. They're doing a lot of stuff. People are really into this transhuman, and they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. We're like 6 months out, which is like 3 or 4, probably, with the whole Neuralink thing, and that's what people want. People want that's what they want. Let them do it. You can't stop it. It's already, the world already exists. It's right there. Everybody loves the muskrat. They're going to let him do whatever he wants. Nobody's been protesting the freaking chips he's been putting in the monkeys' brains in UC Davis that are causing, that they've had to put them down and stuff like that. They don't care because it's about money. Hey, if I lose my sight, I lose my sight. It's just how God wants it, God don't want me putting no chip in my freaking brain to regain my sight. It's unnatural. You got all these weird, rich, egomaniacal, twisted narcissists that want to do all these things that are just very, very unnatural. All these people having relations with kids. It's unnatural. Don't do it. I just read about a freaking superintendent giving freaking kids booze in Georgia. I think she was a superintendent. Then having relations with the kids. Where is the voice that says you don't do kids? There's people in the crimes of passion. The crimes of passion everywhere. I saw an article yesterday. This young girl, 22 years old, had been missing. And then they started looking at her boyfriend. Right? I know somebody who knows the family. Or it's 6 degrees of separation. The world ain't as big as they tell people it is. There's just not the people, and the people that do travel around and see it, they're just like, oh, look at the stuff. They're not even thinking, oh gosh, the world isn't as big as, and then there was a post earlier on Facebook. There's this here local in New Mexico. Yep, the first page that popped up, it came up an hour ago. A lot of people frickin' have given her guidance. And that's good. I mean, there's fucking rich people over Taos. I mean, how come... It's sad. It's just sad. It's sad. It's sad. There's so much, but there's so many people that just need something. Anyway. I asked earlier on a page that I follow, missing girls and young women from New Mexico. It's not just for girls and women, it's for young men too. And I said, are most people being taken or are they runaways? Because it's like all the time. And I know sometimes kids like, man, I don't want to live here anymore. My parents' rules is stupid. And then they take off, you know. But it's not that world anymore. It's not, I mean, you can't do, I mean, now it's like they freaking, more people want to snatch you up here. And they responded. And this is the level, this is where people, they're trying to get. Now, I understand about being aware and cautious and things like that, but I think some of this is kind of extreme. I don't know, but I don't have kids, and I'm a helicopter daughter though, so I can relate. I mean, you care about people, you know, but this is a lot. They said it goes both ways. New Mexico ranks #1 in kidnappings in the country, so everyone must follow some rules. Always be aware of your surroundings. That should just be a life rule, you know? Don't step in the hole. You know? Don't walk off the cliff. But there's a lot of people that just aren't aware of things. No matter your age or your gender, always tell someone who you are meeting, when you will be back, and all the information of the person you are meeting's name, phone number, Facebook account, text, tag numbers. Always meet in a public place. Tell your trusted person when you'll be back, and call that person when you are home. There are many wonderful people, but sadly, there are many bad ones. If you have a teenager, make sure to meet their parents and exchange your information with them. So, I'm like, yeah, you're preaching to the choir, lady. I know how wicked and evil people are. You know, I just want people to learn how to listen to themselves. But how many... if people were shady and scoundrels and scumbags, and I never hung out with them. I didn't hang out with a lot. I mean, like, you know who bad news is. So, how come people are hanging out with people who know who's bad news? Did anybody ever tell you don't hang out with people that are bad news? It's not a good idea to hang out with scoundrels and people that are stealing and lying and doing a bunch of drugs and carrying on and having a bunch of freaking pervy relations and stuff like that, you know? Don't treat yourselves better. People need to care more about themselves. They don't, man. They just pass themselves around. They hook up with this person and that person, and they make themselves feel better. It's all about instant gratification. Learn to meditate. That right there, if more than 50.1% of the population of the earth just, you know, learn to meditate and find their center, their balance, they're okay within themselves, you know, even when scary stuff happens. I know more scary stuff is happening to people, more life is hitting people, more and more. I mean, you can't go through life really unscathed. There's so many wicked people out there. I mean, everybody's getting touched, you know, like knows somebody who knows somebody that's, you know, something awful's happened to. And if you don't, maybe you should get out there and get to know some more people. Maybe. So, what did I call? Keep calm. Man, sometimes I get concerned with how some of the planetary alignments are, because sometimes they're so freaking straight up hostile and stuff like that I worry that I'm not going to have the emotional control to be able to contain myself if something comes up and gets in my face. It hasn't happened yet. So, and I got to actually go out on whatever the 7th is, Wednesday. I got to go out. I gotta do, and then I hope I don't get too hangry, because I gotta do a fasting lab, and so I can't eat. Well, I don't eat much anyway. People eat more than the human body needs. Oh my God, the amount of no wonder freaking obesity is an epidemic and is just rampant. It don't take much, man, and people just. Oh God, the amount of, we don't eat much, because the human body, you just, snack, some protein, some grains, some vegetables, you just snack here and there, you just kind of keep it, and people just, I can't believe, like, this is how big your heart is, and then this is how big your stomach is, and people put, like, way more food in their stomach than, because it tastes so good, and when it tastes good, it feels good. There's better ways. There's better ways. Your body will thank you if you stop eating your feelings. So, yeah. So, I gotta. It's the appointment's not until like almost 11. It's like I'm just going to get there early, though. I always get there early. I mean, it's drawing blood. I mean, how many veterans? They don't see that many people. I'm blessed that I even get to see him at this clinic, because there's like this one chick that I heard of. I never met her, but she had like stage 3 cancer or some shit. And they kept sending her to freaking like Albuquerque, and at one point I think they were trying to send her over to Arizona or something. And it's like, how much does the system fail when someone that needs something like that can't just go right there? It's just the systems are so broken. Because I was talking to my friend about that today. I say, you got all these people in charge of all these systems that are really unqualified to be in the positions of authority that they're in. And they really don't know what they are doing. Yet they're not going to stand up and be accountable and be like, you know what? I'm sure there's better people that are better qualified for this position than I am. So I'm just going to go ahead and step down and let some of those more qualified people come in. We don't have the accountability. See? That is the greatest thing that is going to change the trajectory of this planet, is people coming in to the realizations of what the shitballs they've been and changing their behavior. And I know what that's like. I've done a lot of amends. I've had to make a lot of amends. There's people though you just leave alone. You just leave them in the past. Exes and stuff. Just leave them back there. No need to bring them into the current present moment. No, leave them in the past. There's leave them in the past. So, but there's some people that people know that you got to make things right with, and you can't be a coward, because you did wrong. I know when I've done wrong. I know when I've treated people terribly. I know when I've been very unfair. I know when my part, How many people can't get past the part that they, is well, they deserved it because they did this to me, so they just I know all about it. For years I've heard stories, people getting around themselves and accountability for their own behavior and their own actions. And it's really going to need to happen before things on this planet start changing. Doesn't matter how many freaking millionaires and billionaires. It's so what? There's more pretentious, freaking obnoxious rich people. Rich people aren't that rad. They're not. They're a lot. They throw money at their problems. They don't solve their problems. They don't fix the problems, or they just do something. They just throw money at like that little tiny YA guy. Tiny YA guy. That little dude. Why do people let him talk? Just keep the microwave away from him. Don't let him. There's other people that need to be listened to more than that guy. And anybody that's like, it's just more publicity. It's more of a pony show. It's just silly to me how much energy. I mean, I usually get excited on Sunday nights for the astrology, that Robert Phoenix guy. And even he was doing Tiny YA's freaking human design chart. I'm like, fucking serious? I can't. It's like, dude, am I gonna listen to talks by people that I like? Because the shit that they talk about is just lame. I don't like. It's just like, it's more of that mainstream BS. How does that help? How does that help people? What does that do for people that need, that don't have utilities and don't have food and it's cold and all that stuff? What does that do for the lady who can't afford to take her dog to the vet on a Sunday and she's scared that her little doggy's gonna die? What's that gonna do, huh? What's you doing? What's you doing about it? You talking? Don't you tell me all the time? You just in the mood? You just very pretty, didn't? How about this is? How about this is? No, you have about this is. No, you do. Oh my goodness. I put up the lights. We don't really do holidays, huh, Ma? We don't really do. I mean, we. I see stuff all the time I think you like. I buy it for you. Mary, I love you. Happy, I love you. We don't need to wait for, So it's just, it puts so much pressure on people too, you know it? How much pressure were you under as a single freaking mom, not having any money, raising 2 kids, and then having to listen to us be ungrateful because we didn't get all the stuff we wanted because you couldn't afford it? Yeah. That's pretty tough, huh? That was hard. But there's pictures of some Christmases of us.
Those are good pictures of us.
And here's one, and you can't really tell because we never really. Oh, I found some pictures of Mom when she was younger. This is Mom. Oh God, you must have been 30. Is that wild, Ma? That big old coat you're wearing? Yeah. She's a pretty lady. I look just like her. And when I was little, younger, I was like, I was adopted, huh? Because I couldn't see my parents. And I couldn't see my parents in my face. This is little me. I was like 12. That was so awkward. I hated that. I felt like I was in drag. You can see how uncomfortable I was and how hard it was for me to smile because people put such precedence on teeth. Oh, your teeth are crooked. Like, why would you call that out? I mean, why is that something that is like called... And it's like, I remember when these were taken, I had big old crocodile tears in my eyes, and I can't remember why. But you could see I had the same top teeth as Jewel. I don't know, I was sad about something. I've always been such a sensitive kid. I guess I look more, I feel like I look more Native and American there.
Oh, that's a good picture. Oh, that's a very good picture.
But there's no deficit. You couldn't tell. I mean, we I see, I remember us being happy, and it was hard and stuff like that. But I remember things different.
Yeah.
But that's where my heart is pointed at, is more the positive. And at some point, I think there was a turn. There is a turn. There is a difference. Something happened, and then I started looking things as they were. And if I was looking at more negative stuff, then I started accentuating the positive less.
That's good.
At some point, and then trying to pull that back around. Oh, the rescue. Speaking of, I got all my guys from this rescue. The Basset Beagle Rescue of the Heartland.
Oh, yeah.
They all came from there.
Yeah.
They rescued the BBRH. They rescued how many dogs today? The BBRH. I saw a post earlier. Hey Angie, what are you doing today? Oh, nothing, Kathy. Just rescuing 18 dogs and puppies from Louisiana and Missouri. Well, I guess I'm getting some puppies, huh? Yep, Kath, no break for you. Yep, we got adult beagle mixes, big hound. See, that's what it's a problem all over the place. They get a lot of dogs from the south, and now I live in the south where all the dogs come. But we don't. There's not a lot of beagles and bassets around here. There's not a lot of hound dogs. It's more of a over there thing, an eastern thing, because they where they hunt and then they use them for one season and then ditch them on a dirt road someplace. That happens a lot. Or if they don't, they don't act right or whatever, people are just so empty inside. They just do really terrible things. And oftentimes they do it to animals because it makes them feel like more of a person. It's weird. The psychology of people are just dissolving. They just want to cause harm, and because they just feel so bad about things. They just want other people to hurt as bad as they hurt. And it's a really gross, vicious cycle. And I hope people come into themselves and find their peace. And that's what, nothing out there is going to save anybody. People got to find their security and safety on the inside. That's the only place that exists. It doesn't exist with any freaking military, any freaking police. I mean, the police what are they now? What do they do now? I mean, seriously, I'm not even being a jerk, but what do they do? Because they're freaking, they get these big old freaking ginormous pensions, and they got a lot of free meals, And how many crimes goes unsolved every day? And the ones that do get solved, it's usually because somebody rats somebody out, not because anybody's solving a crime. So how many? It's just such a gross imbalance. The scumbags, they had their chance. They ran the world. Let's give some empaths a turn. Let us have the reins a little bit, And hey, with all the gluttony and stuff, I was talking about that with somebody. We were talking about how many people are drinking. There's just so much alcohol. There's so many people drink. I know people that are drinking now that I never ever thought would drink, and they never did drink. And I don't know when they started drinking, and now it's like a daily thing. And it just gets worse. It doesn't get easier. It doesn't. Once you start drinking and you get that obsession for craving, it don't happen less. There's plenty of people that have been out there that have been functioning alcoholics and stuff for years. Something changes. It ruins your body. It's straight up poison, man. It is. I never understood that. Well, I did understand because alcohol is such poison that it perpetuates, I mean, it causes a lot of health problems, so it drives the freaking medical field. So yeah, let it be illegal. Let people poison themselves, toxic, their woes and stuff like that, with alcohol. Because if the worst thing is they'll kill themselves, and then it's just one less person on the planet because they're real excited about that anyway. It's weird that healthcare isn't about this. It has nothing to do with caring about health, and all to do with like people farm. It's a trip. I bet there's a lot of people out there that make a lot of money that just don't sleep at night. And what do? They freaking drink until they pass out, or they take their pills or whatever. But they don't sleep natural. They're not sleeping natural. So, anyway. Maybe that's how it'll happen, maybe we are in survival of the fittest. What are you doing? That's not for you to climb on. That's not a climbing one. That's how I do it. I want it. I did. No, you do it. Just a little bit. That's a little honor. Yeah. So, we live in a pretty tight knit community. Maybe I don't know. See if I can help those people rally or something. I mean, there's people out there that do want to help. There are, And I know sometimes people just need a break. That's why I like doing stuff for people. I do the things for people that are just get ignored, that fell through the cracks like me, that just they really need to know that freaking human nature doesn't suck. You know what I mean? That somebody out there on this planet that supposedly, I never believe there's 7 billion people on the planet. I think there's less. There's much less. And but you got all these people on the planet, and to think that there's nobody out there that's going to help you. I know how much that sucks to feel that way. And then that's when Earth angels always come, though, Mom. Get out of here. Go. It's as crazy and as hard as go. As stressful as our life has always been, it's always been seconds and itches. Right when we've always gotten what we needed right at the exact moment that we've needed it. It's not easy to have faith. It takes a lot of discipline to have faith. That's why so many people don't do it. That's why so many people don't live from their faithful heart. That's why so many people just live from their egoic heart. And it's cool to live there sometimes, but how often? I mean, how much time are people spending there? If you're spending 100% of your time there, then you all right? Yeah. That ain't good. Do nice things for other people, good things happen to you. Always constantly do nice things for yourself. Man, that's just gluttony, man. People are choking and dying on their freaking their self-care every day. I just have always had a heart of service. I know it to be true. I know that whenever I feel bad, whenever I feel powerless, whenever I'm scared, that is one thing I can do is I can get into action. I can do something for somebody else. And I feel better. And I like hearing other people's stories about how they do that too, and they feel better. It's getting harder and harder to find those stories. I stopped watching the underbelly guy, whatever that guy. I got it turned I watched it. Nope. Nope. Maybe I'll check in to see if he's still doing the freaking cream of the crap of society. It's why don't you ever talk to people that got past their shit, got through their addictions and and stuff like that. No, because people, it's more views if you talk to the scoundrels, because scoundrels, like attracts like, and when people are out there acting, shadily, then they just like to listen to other people that are acting more shadily. Well, I like to listen to people that used to act shadily but don't act that way anymore. That do better in life. That don't want to hurt anybody or themselves. Don't want to freaking poison themselves. That, as challenging as life can be, you still get up every day and try. Those are the ones I want to listen to. I listened to that other chick for a couple weeks too. That she does interviews, and then I found one where she was like, when she was back in the lockdown, and she was condoning that, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. Freedom of choice. Where's that? Make me wear a mask, and now it's all freedom and choice. I'm like, you guys are they're people are just crazy. They constantly contradict themselves. It's hard to keep track. But so we don't so much, huh, Ma? How you doing today, Ma?
I'm doing good.
Yeah? Need to get you a new pair of shoes. You're due for a new pair of shoes. I'm gonna go to Big Five, I think. See about getting you a new pair of shoes tomorrow. You need a new pair of shoes. That's all. Been finding a bunch of Mom's clothes too, so her wardrobe is. So now we're changing clothes more often, huh, Ma?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
You happy?
Things are good.
Things are good.
People are good. We're good.
We're good. I don't know how good. I don't. We'll see you tomorrow. I don't really like going out on the weekends. I prefer to go out on the weekdays earlier.
Fresh air.
Well, it's gonna be cold tomorrow. I think it's gonna be colder tomorrow than it is today. But I want to get stuff to make soup, Ma. Some like chicken and rice.
Yes.
Does that sound good?
Nice and light.
Tomorrow night we're supposed to get a light dusting. We're supposed to get a little. Oh, actually, tomorrow's gonna be warmer than it was today, but it's supposed to rain. And then Tuesday and Wednesday it's supposed to snow.
It's rain and then snow.
Oh, it probably won't do any of it, Ma.
Huh?
Probably won't do any of it. So I was talking to my friend today, and I said, I get why people are so nervous and twitchy and stuff, that have had a lot of stuff happen, why they're on edge, hyper sensitivity and stuff, because I'm getting to a point that that's what's happening with me, is I'm finding, and I was like, well, I would like to get to a point, and I've had those points in my life at some here and there periodically where everything was just okay. Nothing was like impending, kind of thing. And I'd like to get back to being able to feel that way again. And I just wonder if there's too much damage done. I also believe in miracles. So it's a coin toss, really. Really. I mean, we'll see how it ends. At the end of the story, we'll see how it goes. If I I would like a better quality of life, just so when I do take my last and exhale my spirit out into the ethers in my last breath, that people don't woefully acknowledge, well, at least she's not suffering anymore. At least she's not in pain anymore. I've been thinking a lot about my on Facebook. Last couple days I get like the who do you know people. It comes up of Jessica.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now she's been gone a couple months now, but she had this other Facebook account that she just made.
For herself?
Well, it's another one that I wasn't friends with her on that one, right? So it's like people you know. So she keeps popping up, and she's been heavy on my heart lately, you know, and I just, you can't, I'm good. I got good at not doing the what if game, because it's just wasteful, wastes energy to do that, you know. It's just another tragic story in a world full of tragic stories. And there's so many people that are sad, you know, because their loved ones have been in addiction, have been fighting their demons. And I got to keep telling these stories because that's how I got to fight mine. Because I love drinking. I love oblivion. I do not like the consequence and all the terrible things that come with it. And I mean, I mean, you got like bottles of demons in there sometimes, you know. I mean, you don't know what these people are doing with their intentions, with these, you know, with, you just can't, and people just don't think about stuff like that, and they just don't, it causes, so it's just, and there's so many young people that are daily drinkers now. I mean, I used to be a daily drinker too when in my early 20s too. Also, though, I mean, I drank a lot too, so I don't really know if that's really. But I don't know. I don't know though. It's hard to tell because like people don't really actively. Oh yeah, I drank case of beer 24 beers last night. Because I mean, you say that around people that don't drink like that, they look at you funny. So, but she had her, that was her family, was her bar family. Yeah, so at least she had that, you know. I'm good with just you and the dog, Ma. I'm good with you. I just can't believe they're all like 12 now. You know, yeah, they're all getting old. They're all getting up there. You know, you have them for so long and you just have them for so many years that it's just, you don't, I mean, you know one day they're going to get old and ultimately die, and you'll be sad and miss them, you know, all the way to their last breath, and it's just, I don't know. I was reading part of my a different astrology report, and I don't do good with like final thing when things are like when they show video footage of boats going down, it does something to my soul when I see the last part of the boat go down and then it's gone into the dark. It's just something about finalized. But I cope and I deal, you know, I didn't think I would survive a broken heart from when Arthur died, right? And that was like a worst case scenario in a lot of ways. I mean, it did not go down great, but we had a great 17 years together, you know? So that's all you can do is pray, you know, but it just, it doesn't always end easy. So you just, I just hope I can continue to, you know, God continues to give me the strength to handle stuff, because oh man, whatever you do when you're younger, man, it's way more. It's unless you dull it and nullify it and all that stuff. Unless you just got no heart, no feelings. Otherwise, your sensitivities become more prominent. That's what I found to be true. That's what I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.